So what can you tell us about the new moon that's coming now, which is in,
Mhm.
if I'm correct, 29 degrees
Yeah,
Aries?
Yeah.
I can see already that it's like, for me, it's in house 5.
Yes.
I'm about to set some intentions. Can
Okay.
you
Yeah.
maybe say something about this so I can make my intentions more in line?
Yes, I'll try to. The fifth house has to do with self-expression.
Hmm.
So you might say the fourth house has something with homecoming and being with yourself. The fifth house is much more outgoing. It has to do with self-expression, to be in some way the center.
Hmm.
Um, the center in the sense that you're leading a project or you're presenting something, you're bringing something to the world or to a certain group of people. It's very much connected to creativity in that sense, this self-expression. And it's very much connected, the fifth house, to love. Love there are more houses in the chart actually connected to love. In the fifth house, love is playful and light. So it's not symbolizing like, long-term relationships, responsibilities, stuff like that. That's not the fifth house. It has to do with the more playful, romantic side of love. Um, of course, in terms of dating or love affairs, but also the experience of being loved by people just for who you are. Like people who just like to see you. That's a fifth house experience. um, or you being at your best among people. It's also love in that sense. And these themes can mix, and so it might happen that you fall in love, or somebody falls in love with you, or that your love relationship, when you're already in a love relationship, this theme lives more in these 4 weeks. So you should always remember when we're talking about the moon, the new moon, you're talking about cycles of 4 weeks. So it's something that's coming up and it will disappear, and then another theme will come. But in a general sense, I expect that to happen. So even though it's again in Aries, I think in your case it's much more important to look at this fifth house. And then again, with this in the background, the fifth house, to check, okay, what kind of connections are being made from this 29 degrees Aries to the rest of the chart. So from this 29 degrees in Aries, again, your profession will be touched and your moon, but from a different angle. Um, in this case, the angle will be not as clear, not as direct as it is now in this cycle. It's more like a blind spot. So it means that you might be surprised by things that happen that you didn't see coming. That's a typical blind angle experience.
It's like a 30 degrees?
150.
150.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 30 degrees or 150 degrees.
Is it the same with, when they talk, when you have a truck, right? And they have these mirrors and they have a blind angle, right? Is it the same degrees?
It's comparable. You're often taken by surprise by, like a cyclist or a pedestrian just popping up out of nowhere. That's how it feels like. It's because you don't see the area. There's a connection. It's actually a very direct connection, but you don't see it because your mind is somewhere else. So that I would expect your work profession is still present, but your mind might be somewhere else.
I see.
Maybe more in this fifth house, love and self-expression and playfulness energy.
I see.
There is also, again, a connection to your rising sign. And interesting also from this blind angle. So
a lot of mirrors I have to
yeah. You have to pay attention. You have to find ways to pay attention because when the rising sign is involved in this manner, it might be that you present yourself to people, or you behave in a way that will give unexpected reactions. You might be taken by surprise by the way people react to you while you were just being spontaneous, and people might react odd towards you. Usually because they are perceiving something that you're not perceiving about yourself, some little unconscious thing that you didn't realize, and then, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden it becomes conscious because of this somewhat awkward reaction by somebody else.
I see. So actually, like if you make a lot of 30 degrees connections, these things are gonna happen, but actually to be a mirror to you, like to show you your unseen spots in a way.
Yeah. They're supposed to.
It's a very learningful phase, maybe. Then.
It's yes. You can learn a lot about yourself, especially about your blind spots. So it's to get to know the things where your attention normally isn't.
Okay. Interesting.
So that would be, in a few words, my forecast for you for the next new moon.
Thank you. Sometimes we get so caught up in the conversation that we forget that there is a camera right there, and we forget to do a proper ending to the episode. So here is. Thank you, listeners. We really hope you enjoyed our content of today. And yes, please subscribe and follow us if you'd like to see more episodes in the near future. And we hope to see you next time.